Hey guys, it's Agita Plum here.
Hi.
And today we're looking at the beta, the Weapon Diversity Beta. We're just looking at melee today, and we're looking at all the kind of different effects that these new items are gonna give us, or these new weapons are gonna give us.
So in this weapon beta, for the melee weapons, we have a dagger, a spear, scimitars, 2H swords, mace and mauls. These are all having new effects added to them.
We do have Rune Metrics active, and we're hopefully going to see a difference in DPS whenever it comes to it, and the different effects that some of the weapons have as well. I should also note that we're only going to be using the weapons within this video, so there's not going to be any armor on until it's required. We're not going to be using any potions or prayers, anything to boost levels. It's purely just the weapons that we'll be looking at, and whenever it's coming to abilities, we are going to be using Revolution just for it to go through basic abilities. This beta is open for everyone to try it right now. If you go to RuneScape's homepage, you'll be able to try out the beta there, and it is open for a month for you to get in and give your feedback and have a look into it.
So these are the dual-wielded daggers. They have an effect that means that basically they'll do an auto attack with both of the daggers.
So yeah, there you can see this animation just coming up that it's just hit twice there. Did you see that kind of like flurry that came down there? That was it hitting twice. It is only a 5% chance, that's the only thing, so I think it did only happen once during this 1 minute.
So you can see it has made a bit of a difference.
There is a difference, yeah, nearly 2,000 of a difference from the normal to the beta voice.
For just a 5% chance as well, that's not bad. Scimitars, when you're wielding them, give 5% damage over time each hand, so if you're wearing 2, you'll get 10% damage over time for the amount of the critical hit. So if it'll be 10% of the damage of a critical hit that you do. So if you do 2k, say for instance, you're going to get a 200 bleed on it. So
yeah, there you just seen a critical hit there of 1200, and then followed afterwards you've actually got the damage over time, where's that little 31 that's just appearing, and that should appear so many times.
Over 7.2 seconds,
yeah.
So
yeah, there's the other critical.
And you can see a lot.
There's some 28 splats. In fact, there's another one as well, 69. So it kind of triggers quite often, to be fair.
Well, it did say that if it happens twice, they stack up with each other. So if you get one after another, you'll get a bigger bleed, so it adds to the bleed.
You can see that it really does help the DPS, actually. That's nearly a 5k difference just using the scimitars. This is the two-handed sword that we've got up next, and it's just got a nice special that every time you hit a critical, you get some healing back. So we've got the frames here, we've got like beginning and the time elapsed, so we damaged ourselves to begin with, both in normal and the beta, and then we're just using the two-handed just to hit some criticals here, and we'll get some heal splats from it, and we'll see what they look like at the end of it.
Yeah, so you can see like the beginning of the normal, there is no change, it's completely static.
Yeah, it seems to be the same the entire way through.
Exactly, but every time you get a crit, have a look at the health on the beta, and hopefully you'll be able to see a difference. There you go.
You can see that 70 appear there.
It's quite a nice one, nice simple one actually, like that you can physically see. There's not much problem with finding that one.
The DPS between them shouldn't be too different, and by the looks of it, no, they seem to be pretty much on par with each other there as well, but then again, that is just for the health.
Exactly.
That's just for healing. So with the spears again, it's just a nice effect. All bleeds last 50% longer. The ones that we're testing during this are Slaughter, Blood Tendrils and Dismember.
I think Dismember's a, 6 seconds, so you're talking 9 seconds in the beta, which is quite nice. Blood Tendrils sadly is difficult because you need to move the target.
Yeah, and because it's stationary, it didn't really work here because they do kind of end at the same time. But Slaughter and Dismember certainly, you can see the vast difference between the two of them.
Exactly. So Macy's is next, and this one's a complicated one. Not in the sense that, you know, when you read it, it doesn't seem complicated. It's just in practice, it's quite complicated.
I find it confusing, certainly. So
whilst wielding a mace, 200% of your prayer bonus is applied as a strength bonus. So, and then if you're dual wielding, it's 300%. So obviously we're dual wielding. What you can see on the screen is the normal versus the beta. So it does make a difference whilst just wearing the maces.
Just even having something with that prayer bonus is giving you more damage straight off the bat, which is then in turn affecting your ability damage as well.
So the next thing that you can see here is that Proselyte, basically armor gives you a 22 prayer bonus, so the damage is again increased from 823 base to 889, so that's up.
Yeah, just in essence, it means that wearing the armour that gives you a prayer bonus, you should just be hitting harder. I think that is just the kind of crux behind this change. So we should hope to see a difference in the kind of DPS at the end of this minute.
Exactly.
You can maybe start to see it on the graph, I suppose, but the proof will be right at the end of the numbers.
To be fair, it's a more subtle one in comparison to some of the others. Like, you know, your prayer bonus, obviously you can stack up and get more damage, but it's not like the damage appears to be a lot, like going from 823 to 889 or something like that. It's not a huge amount, but it will make a difference overall, obviously. So you can see it is subtle.
It's very subtle. This was with just wearing the maces with nothing else on. So yeah, it's less than 500 kind of damage more.
So this is with Proselyte armor?
This is with the Proselyte.
I mean, your damage is going to be increased in the normal game anyway because you're wearing armor. Obviously, you're then more melee focused, therefore should be able to do more damage with your weapons. But what we should see is an increased DPS again with the beta, and hopefully more of a difference between the normal and the beta this time, because there's more of a strength bonus applied here.
Yeah, but it was going from +5 to this is +22.
35.1 and 32.8.
Yeah, there is a difference here. Nearly a 3,000. About 2,000 difference actually, looking at it. Which, yeah, is actually quite a lot.
Exactly. Just subtly.
Proselyte as well. It's quite low level prayer armour as well.
Yeah, so if you imagine what Masterwork armour has 11 prayer bonus on it.
Yeah, never mind the strength bonus
exactly.
with it as well, yeah.
So, or Malevolent, you could start to see your DPS increase.
Quite a lot.
Exactly.
So the last of the melee set that we looked at was the Mauls. Now this one, personally, I find the most confusing, more in terms of how to actually kind of like test to see the difference, because there's actually very little Mauls in the game. I know they've added a tier 92 Maul, but you can't really, because of how this works, you get 5 tiers of damage, level damage, and -5 tiers of accuracy. It changes the weapon completely from what it is in normal RuneScape to how it is in the beta, so it's really difficult to kind of test this one. So the first thing that we've got here is just comparing a chaotic Maul, which is tier 80, and kind of seeing a difference between that and the beta.
So really what we should be seeing here is that it's tier 80 with tier 80 accuracy in the normal, but in the beta it should be a tier 85 Maul but with tier 75 accuracy. So we should be seeing some huge spikes and hits, but then a lot of kind of like misses almost.
So just looking at the end here, actually, I would say that's quite a significant difference. Just normal, we're hitting about 33,000 damage, yeah, in the beta we're hitting nearly 40,000 damage. That is a huge difference.
So
we're using the same weapon. Look at the spikes and damage actually compared in the beta compared to the normal. There's quite a lot more high hitting spikes there than there is in the normal. A lot more DPS.
I'd say overall as well that the DPS is higher. Like there's a lot of really low hits in the normal, whereas those low hits are just a little bit higher now.
So this is just the kind of last final test. As I said, there's nothing really to compare things with, so we've now got the tier 92 Maul, which is essentially tier 97, and just looking at its overall DPS versus a tier 80. It would be tier 85 because it was also in the beta.
So this one is a tier 92, which will be tier 97, but also with tier 87 accuracy. That made a huge difference if that's both the beta damages.
Yeah, these are both beta damages. So granted, it is just like the tier 80 versus the tier 92, but we're almost seeing a 10,000 damage difference.
And the max hit is quite a lot different as well, going from 2.3k to 3.4k.
So thanks everyone for watching. This has just been a quick overview of the melee weapons in the beta. We will be looking into the range and magic ones in subsequent videos.
So we're definitely going to be giving some feedback to the RuneScape which I think you can do via Discord or on the forums. In particular, the daggers and the dagger effect percent chance, I think we would like that to be a little bit more. But you can also try it out and do that too. I think they're looking for as much feedback as possible.
Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now. Bye.
Bye.